What is up, my friends? It is good to be back. It's been a while since we've seen each other. My name is Dr. Brandon Osborne. I'm the Director of Training here at Momentum WOD. This is a strength training platform for mixed martial arts and combat sport athletes. We have a free 7-day trial. Feel free to check that out. I'm not going to harp too much on that. Today, what I want to do is I want to get back into the routine of looking at some of your favorite mixed martial arts athletes' strength training routines and breaking down the kettlebell exercises that they're using. Today we're going to look at an athlete who is fairly notorious within the mixed martial arts community, none other than Paige Vanzant. Not necessarily notorious for her prowess in the cage or in the ring, for other reasons which I'll let you figure out. In today's video I want to focus on one exercise in particular, and that's the 2-arm kettlebell swing. As I had somebody in the comments of one of our previous videos ask me to go over this exercise, specifically the breathing technique associated with it. So it's something I haven't really talked about in our past videos, and I want to take this opportunity to go over that because it's really, really important for you to be able to perform this exercise successfully and get the most out of it. Let's jump into Paige Vanzant's kettlebell training routine and break it down. All right, so this video is pretty fast-paced, so I'm going to pause at various moments in the video so we can take a look at what's going on here. So Paige is starting out with, I think they're called around the world. So it's a core exercise where the kettlebell is circumnavigating your body. It's keeping your spine in a neutral position. From there, we're moving into some Cannonball goblet squats, a little bit more intensive for your grip than a regular goblet squat. And then we're moving into those 2-arm swings. So right off the bat at a glance, Paige's technique actually looks pretty good. She's appears to be hip hinging. She appears to be patient with her backswing, all things that we're looking for when we're trying to assess somebody's technique with this exercise. So what I mean by those two things is she's sending her hips back rather than going into a squatting position, and she is waiting to hinge her hips back until the kettlebell is fairly low in her backswing, which is going to minimize the amount of time that you're in the hinge and is going to maximize your power output when you're performing that movement. The big thing with this exercise that I'm talking about today is going to be your breathing technique. This is important for a couple of different reasons. One, you're going to be able to have better endurance when doing this exercise over the course of a workout, and that's going to translate to better endurance for whatever sport it is that you're competing in. Two, it's going to be protective of your spine. Whether you're in the upswing or the downswing portion of the exercise, depending on where you are, your spine might be in a more or less vulnerable position, so you want to make sure that you're protected in doing the movement. And three, it's going to contribute significantly to your ability to generate power when you're going through the hip extension upswing portion of the movement. So let's talk through the steps in terms of what you're doing and how to time and pattern your breathing. It's called a biomechanical breathing match when you're performing this exercise. So we're starting out with Paige in the deepest part of her backswing. Her hips are hinged, her knees are slightly bent, her neck is neutral, her spine is neutral. From here, what you're going to be doing is you're driving into the ground, you're pushing your feet into the ground and extending your hips. And that hip extension is what drives the bell into the upswing. Your forceful exhale, which is going to be out through your mouth, is going to occur when your hips extend. So the point at which your hips are tall, but the bell is still moving in an upwards direction or starting to move in an upwards direction, is the point at which you're forcefully breathing out. So those two things are coordinated. From there, the bell is going to move into the upswing. It's going to float at the top of the upswing for a moment. You shouldn't be inhaling or exhaling. You should be at the end of your exhale, essentially. And then as the bell is coming back down through the backswing, you're going to take a sharp nasal inhale through your nose. Okay, and you can even do 2 nasal inhales. Okay, what that's going to do is that's going to tighten your core, and because this is going to be the most vulnerable position that your back is in during this movement, it's going to protect your spine in doing so. So let's watch it again. Hips extend, forceful exhale, really powerful. You can even make a noise while you're doing so, and you'll hear many people who are training with kettlebells do so when they're performing this exercise. Bells at the top, backswing, nasal inhale. All right, let's clean that sweat off. Let's get going. Moving on to the next portion of this workout, we got Paige performing some one-arm rows. I would like to see her take her hand off that opposite leg when she's doing that exercise. You're negating some of the benefits that can be had for core stability, endurance, and strength. Take that hand off that leg. Let's get more out of that exercise. You got a little break. We call this fast and loose in between sets. You're keeping things nice and loose. You're helping to circulate some blood. You're draining that lactic acid, and you're not going to get as tired if you stay fast and loose in between your sets. I think Paige is finishing out this workout. She's doing some climbs up a telephone pole, not a kettlebell exercise, but she's being creative with it, so we like that. So really cool. So today was a fast video, a fast breakdown, but I wanted to talk about that breathing technique because it's something that's really, really important for your kettlebell swings, for those three things I mentioned earlier, for your metabolic conditioning, for your power output, and for you to stay safe when you're doing the exercise. I hope you've enjoyed this quick breakdown with Paige Vanzant performing kettlebell swings. If you want more information about kettlebell training, feel free to head over to momentumwod.com. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed this video, and tune in for our next one coming soon. I'm happy to be back on the horse. I'm happy to see you again. I will see you all again soon. This is Dr. Brandon Osborne, StrongFirst certified kettlebell instructor. Be well.